And like always, there's a best list, but also there's the worst. These are the films that are absolutely an abomination. Now, I understand a lot of work, a lot of determination, a lot of inspiration goes into play into making these movies, but sorry, when it comes out to the final product, they're just bad. And here's my list of the top 10 movies that I found to be a huge abomination. Number 10 is the Owen Wilson comedy Hall Pass. Holy crap, Hall Pass was just completely slapstick comedy. The whole time it was trying to be funny, and the whole time it just wasn't funny. And with Jason Sudeikis onto the crew, I expected this movie to be funny. It had a lineage, it had a chance to be raunchy and dirty and go out for it and just be what it needed to be, and instead it was just slapstick. It was unoriginal. The movie was just lacking laughs. The movie where literally every adult ever on the planet is a complete moron. Seriously, Taylor Lautner is kicking butt and twirling around, doing little dance moves, and y'all were like, so completely lost, and he's figuring all this stuff out. Seriously, and Sigourney Weaver, what are you doing in this? Number 8, Your Highestness. Now, personally, I was super excited for this movie. I love Danny McBride, and I love James Franco, and who doesn't love Natalie Portman? Come on. And so I was super excited for this. I love Pineapple Express. And then I sit down and this movie is raunchy, it's dirty, but it's not funny. I never laughed one bit. And it got really vulgar and really inappropriate, and it just wasn't funny. It just was nasty. I don't even want to really even talk about it's taking a classic tale and spinning it off, and they did it into the most romantic cliche ever. I mean, you got Vanessa Hudgens and Alex Pettyfer. You put two very attractive people and you make one of them ugly, and of course they're going to fall in love. This movie saw this movie coming ahead of time, and then what really irked me was just the dialogue. The dialogue was really, like, seriously, how could someone write this and say that that this is poetic, that this is real, and that this is just not Hollywood cliche? All I wanted was a fun, mindless action flick, and seriously, is it so much hard to ask? This movie just kept me dull. It was boring. I literally was almost about to fall asleep in this movie. And when an action movie, that should be the least of your concerns. Shoot, a comedy or a drama should be putting you to sleep, not a full-blown action movie like Conan the Barbarian. But this movie was awful. The acting was awful. The script, the dialogue was awful. Everything about this movie is awful. And anyone who goes and sees this film and actually enjoys it, what's wrong with you? Literally lost it. The whole time in the theaters, I almost, at one point, I was like, I wanted to get out and just pace the theater. Just pace the theater back and forth. Scream, holler, do something. I couldn't take this movie. I mean, seriously. Smurfs, rock band, Smurf rap. That sequence alone was just, it was haunting, and I had nightmares for the rest of that whole night. It was too much for me to handle. Too much. Could not stand the Smurfs at all. Smurfity, Smurf. Oh my god, this movie. Move on. A bad movie. Normally when I left Hall Pass or Your Highestness, it was like, oh, that is a bad movie. It had bad dialogue, bad this. But for some reason, when I left Breaking Dawn Part 1, I wanted to scream. I wanted to go shake the person at the movie booth and say, why are you playing this movie? Why? There's other great movies out right now. Why are you playing this? Why you would take such perfect story to make it truly haunting and unique and fantasy-like, and you turn it into a Twilight romance? Seriously? I really thought this movie was going to be good. I was like, you know what, Captain Hardwick, yeah, she's dead, Twilight, but you know what? This might actually be good. It has Gary Oldman in it, and Virginia Madison, you know? She's Candyman, and I kind of enjoy The Haunting in Connecticut. So yeah, I'm excited. So this might actually be good. And, you know, Amanda Seyfried, you know, she's not a terrible lead. She's not terrible. Terrible. So, you know, I'm excited. Whoa. From the beginning to end, I was just like, oh. There was a little snippet piece in there of the original fairy tale that I did enjoy, but overall this movie is just bad from beginning to end. The killer reveal was completely forced, I felt. The dialogue, of course, was cringing. But yet they all look so beautifully and white and pretty, just like they do in Twilight. Unfortunately, I saw a film worse than Red Riding Hood, and unfortunately, it hurts me to say it had to be 11-11-11. It really hurts me. And I still love you, Darren Lynn Bousman. You are awesome. You keep doing what you're doing. Just don't let it be anything like this. Keep doing your Mother's Day, your Saws, your Repo the Genetic Operas. Those films are awesome, and you're still a huge inspiration to me. This movie doesn't exist. This movie doesn't exist. I mean, this movie was laughably bad. I mean, I was just like, oh my god. And normally I'm able to keep up, but this movie almost in a sense wanted to put me to sleep. It was so dry. It was so just unoriginal. And unfortunately, we lost it. 11-11 has passed. So this was the only time really for this story to be told, and we missed it, and it wasn't haunting or scary at all. This movie is garbage. This movie's garbage. I refuse to say the title for this movie. I refuse to say the title for this movie. Why Robert De Niro would come in this movie and have the only laugh is repulsive. Katie Holmes, you know, I guess she goes from screaming from demons to actually being in a movie about demons. And this is just awful. And oh my god, I am doing so many arm movements. My video, oh my god. But yes, this movie is awful. I refuse to say this title. I refuse to say this title because it doesn't exist in my mind. This movie doesn't exist in my mind. And why would anyone laugh at sweat stains or, you know, Twister games and stuff like that were beyond me. I mean, I'm sorry, Adam Sandler used to be funny, but I can't take it anymore. I thought Grown Ups was bad, but this is just on a whole nother level. I mean, just don't ever watch this movie. Well, there you have it. The top 10 worst films of the years. Please, if you haven't seen any of these movies, steer away. Steer away. Go far, go far. I understand. A lot of movies take a lot of time and effort, but these movies were just bad. They were not good. They just were not good. And it hurts me to say, you know, 11-11-11, really disappointing movie. And yeah. So yeah, until next time, I'm the Slash Movie Reviewer, and you guys just been slashed.